Oh man, we got clobbered here in Southern California. 3 huge fires in the space of a week or two. They are still ongoing, but largely contained. They're not spreading, which is a good thing. But there are closures. The closures have come out, and in some cases, the closures are for over a year. And what I was able to do was take the Forest Service PDF maps that they provide and map them onto a CalTopo map and trace the boundaries, which I'll share with you. I'll show you some of the hikes that have been closed, some of the trails that are closed. I'll give you some alternatives. And if you want to access this map yourself, I will put a link to it underneath this video so you can check it out and bring it into your mapping program or have it for reference. I'll put a link to all of these closure orders as well. The closure orders do go over on some of them the actual trail names, all the trails and the areas that are closed. So if you're in doubt, you can go check that out. But let's go over the map and look at this and see what's shut down. So the map link I'm going to share is this one in CalTopo. We have the 3 fires, and these are the closure areas. And I also have the map sheets in here. So if you want to put the actual map sheet on top of it, you can do this and up it. Just make a copy. All you have to do is go to export and then go to copy to a new map, and you can save it for yourself. But all of the actual closure maps are in here. And you can see I've stacked them and I've traced them in there. So that's the deal. It'll be easier to look at these. If you want to see actually where the fire was, if you want the burn area, if you go into the Watch Duty app, you can see where the fires are and get a current status on the fire. You can see they're contained. This obviously doesn't match the closure area. Here, the closure area is this entire area. So let's go ahead and look at these. Let's start with the line fire. The line fire is closed until when? I put it in this thing here, closed until November 30th. So effectively until the winter. This whole area right here is closed. So all the area around Big Bear Lake, all these hikes, San Gorgonio Wilderness, all of that is closed all the way to the western portion of San Bernardino National Forest, where it kind of meets up with the Angeles National Forest, which is right here. We'll go over that in a second. If you're looking for some alternative hikes to do that aren't San Gorgonio, this whole southern part of San Bernardino National Forest is open down here. So Mount San Jacinto, the hikes around Idlewilds, Cactus to Clouds will be opening up. It's not open today, I don't think, because the tram is closed for maintenance. And I'm not sure if the Skyline Trail is open or closed. There's a great website by John King, who does trail reports for all of these. I'll put a link to that underneath here as well. So check that before you go out. But right now, the southern part of San Bernardino National Forest is largely open. And again, this is opening up in a couple months. What's not opening up in a couple months is the bridge fire area, which will be closed until the end of 2025. So this one is a pretty big deal. And this is the bridge fire. It started down by Heaton Flat and went straight across the National Forest. So let's look at the bridge fire here. The boundary on this side is the road to Mount Baldy, and the actual town of Mount Baldy is open. Essentially, the edge of the road here to the west is closed. So Sunset Peak closed, Potato Mountain closed down here. This whole area on the side is closed. You can go up to Manker Flat, but you can't go up to the Ski Hut Trail or Mount Baldy. That is all closed. You can take the chairlift up to the Notch, Mount Baldy. I saw they just posted a thing. They're going to have music and all kinds of things going on. So if you want to help out a local business, that would be a good idea. And then north of Baldy, the whole area up to Wrightwood and the PCT up here, Wright Mountain, this is all closed. Mountain High Ski Resort got burned, got clobbered, but this whole area here is closed. I believe you can drive through Wrightwood. I'm not sure what the openings are. Check the Caltrans site, but this is all part of that closure order from the map that I showed you earlier. All of the Blue Ridge Parkway up here, Guffey Campground, all of this is all closed. That was a beautiful, beautiful area. And if we go west from there, Baden Powell is closed as well. I was actually up there hiking 2 or 3 days before this whole area where the fire started. So I was lucky, but this whole area got closed here. I think the cabins survived, but this whole area is closed. And then further west, closed Dawson Saddle, Troop Peak. Down here, the Hawkins peaks are all closed. Crystal Lake looks like it is open. So if you want to do Crystal Lake and go up to, it looks like Little Jimmy is open, Mount Islip open, so you can do those up at Crystal Lake. And then coming down, this whole area in here is closed. And these southern peaks, this is Bridge to Nowhere. This is Bridge to Nowhere here from Heaton Flats. So Iron Mountain got clobbered and Bridge to Nowhere is closed. And a lot of these peaks in here, a lot of these trails in here are done, from Baden-Powell down into Mine Gulch, Cabin Flat. All of that is closed off. And if you want an alternative to those, Crystal Lake, Mount Islip is good. And the whole western portion so far, knock on wood, is open. So you can do Mount Wilson as it gets cooler and, a little bit more temperate here in Southern California. Condor Peak. There's a lot of great hikes you can do here. You can do Mount Lukens from the northern side, which is a tough one, Stone Canyon. There's a lot of good hikes that you can do here. And I have my website, HikingGuy.com. There's a searchable map if you want to go and search for hikes. You can do that there as well. But Bridgefire, this whole area, Heaton Flat, Baden-Powell, Mount Baldy, looks like they will be closed until December 31st of 2025, which, if you're a fair weather hiker, effectively means that it will be closed until summer, late spring of 2026. Last fire I want to show you is the airport fire. This is a big one. This is also a closure until next year. This is closed until September 17th of 2025, so closed for a year. It only burned this area, only burned several thousand acres, but the entire, essentially, Santa Ana's portion of Cleveland National Forest is closed, and that's everything from Black Star Canyon. Maple Springs is closed. Coming up here, Sierra Peak up from Cole Canyon, all of this part is closed, even though it wasn't close to the fire. Santiago Peak got hit by the fire. That is closed. And everything south of here, Blue Jay in the Santa Anas, is closed. The fire did hop over the 74. I heard that Ortega Oaks was not burned. This whole parking lot, San Juan Trailhead, was not burned, but there were parts of San Mateo. Morgan Trailhead, I believe, did get burned, but this whole area is closed down into Santa Maria Mountains. This is the backside of Pendleton over here. But this is all closed. This is all closed for a year. If you're looking for an alternative to that, you can go down and do Palomar, the southern part of Cleveland National Forest, which is beautiful. You might have to drive a little bit more. Even this Aqua Tibia Wilderness is nice. And obviously you can go down into the Laguna Mountain area of Cleveland National Forest. Beautiful, beautiful hiking. You'll have to drive another half hour, 45 minutes maybe if you're in Orange County, but there are some alternatives there to hiking in Cleveland National Forest. If you look at the historical fire damage, this is in CalTopo. This is under fire history from 2000 to the present. You can see a lot of our mountains and forests have burned here. And if you go back 100 years or so, pretty much everything has gotten hit at some point. That's a wilderness area. Areas that were once old pines and older big forest will now be scrub, and these, the species will move in, like poodle bush, that are there after fire, and it will look like a hellscape for a while, which is unfortunate. This is a big deal. These 3 fires that hit in the last couple weeks, last month, I think will affect us here in Southern California. As hikers, probably won't see a recovery in our lifetime for some of us. So it's a big deal. I'll put some alternative hikes that you can do underneath this video. And again, just go to my website, HikingGuy.com, and you will see a bunch of hikes that you can do if you live in Southern California. Overall, fairly devastating, and don't know what to say. If you have experiences or cool videos or anything else to share from the fire, please leave me a link in the comments and share it with the community. But that's where we are, and we'll be able to hike Mount Baldy again on New Year's Eve, 2025. It's a long way away. All right, guys, stay safe out there. Fingers crossed, no more fires, and I'll see you out on the trails.